90 to 95, just because it's so much experimentation going on, and like the technology is developing as the music's developing, and it's just, and yeah, there was something just really raw about his production. And I found out later that he was making a lot of his music on, every time I look at one, it's like I bought this from Ray Keith in Black Market in the late 90s, and I look at it and it brings a memory to me. Do you know what I mean? I'll have shifts in what I'm looking for. Sometimes it'll be like 70s funk and soul, disco, and then like at the moment I'm bang on like, yeah, have you ever heard the Amen on this? Or Salt and Pepper Amen. It's like just, people would layer them at 808s, and then when you put them on 45, it just sounds like instant hardcore, doesn't it? So
easy guys, welcome to Crate Diggin, episode 5, and today I'm off to North London to have a dig in the crates with the rude boy Pete Cannon. Prolific hip-hop, hardcore and jungle producer, owner of the mighty N4 Records, and the man that made producing on Amigas cool again. So, let's jump straight into it. So Pete, what is your very earliest memory of vinyl?
My very earliest memory of vinyl. Okay, so my dad's a musician. He played in bands in the 60s and 70s. He had records out on the label Decca, and was an avid record collector. When I came along, like I think I was 3 years old, and he gave me a collection of 300 records, like all, you know, like all these old bits and bobs. And I think, yeah, there was a lot of 7 inches, a lot of 12 inches, stuff like Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones, stuff like that. But apparently what I'd do, he gave me a little, do you remember like the dance set record players? And it had 78 on it. So he showed me how to like put a record on when I was 3, you know, and it had the little arm and it goes down. But apparently I used to put everything on 78 and play everything really, really fast. So he'd come back in the room and tell me, you know, to slow it down. He'd like play a 7-inch on 45. But then as soon as he'd leave the room, I'd play everything on 78. Basically wanted the gabber from when I was 3 years old.
Wicked.
So yeah, I was about, 300 tatty records when I was 3. Yeah.
Cool, so where did your actual, your journey of buying vinyl begin? What was the first record you ever bought?
Right, Jesus. It's not a cool one. It's not a cool one. It's TURTLE Power. They're by Partners in Crime. I bought it from Our Price for I think it was £2.49. It was a picture disc with all the turtles on it.
You still got it?
I have still got it somewhere, but it's at my mum and dad's. It's at my mum and dad's house. That had a mixture of going to car boot sales with my dad when I was little, and again, like, everybody collected records then, you know. So it was records or tapes. So we go out on the car boots, and then it was learning to find different bits and understanding, you know, like different styles and genres from like the age of 7, and going, oh, getting interested in like jazz stuff, funk and soul, and, you know, just navigating the different genres that I could find up north.
So, now we're moving into the realms of electronic rave music. What was the first rave record that you ever bought?
Ooh, okay, first rave one I ever got was, it's weird, it's a compilation actually, it's here. It was Hit the Decks. If you remember these were mixes. You had Slipmat, Mega Bass, and it was like a compilation of like loads of rave tracks at the time, and I got it on cassette. I think I was like 10 years old in like 92. And yeah, it just had like, you know, Art of Noise, Kicks Like a Mule, everything on there. It was a good like introduction into rave, and I was like, how are they putting all this shit together? Like, what's going on? And I was just like, inside as well, if you look at it, there's a picture on one of them. I think it's this one, Hit the Decks 2. Look how cool these motherfuckers are. Do you know what I mean? It's like, whoa. A lot of geezers just sitting by the deck. So yeah, I had this on cassette. I got it off my mate Chris. Big shout out to Chris. And I think, yeah, pretty much from there.
And how old were you then?
I was 10 years old. But there was ones that stood out. So you had stuff like Asen that was on there, and I was like, why is this one, no disrespect to anyone else on it, but why is this one sick? What's the difference? And then it was kind of like studying the tracks and the beats from there. And, you know, look, Sons of a Loop de Loop era, Injected with a Poison, like absolute bangers.
And that's all mixed, is it?
Yeah, it's all mixed by these geezers on the decks. And I love the covers as well. It's like, was just very intriguing, and I just wanted to know how it was all put together and how it was made. Like as soon as I heard it, so yeah, hit the decks. If you've never checked them out, check them out.
So can you remember what was the first actual 12-inch you bought of a Rave record?
Oh shit! Okay, right. First 12-inch. There was a shop in Blackpool. It was the only one independent record shop. It was called Melody House. Big shout to Phil. It's where all the DJs got all their stuff from. And I think I was 12 years old. So it's 2 years after that. And, you know, that was when 12 inches were a fiver. I had my £5 pocket money. And I went in there and I found this record called Dread Bass. 1994, and I used to do the guy's heading in there because you try loads of records, all the DJs would be spending like their cash, dropping like 200 or 300 quid, and I'd be there with my fiver, trying about 20 records and do his head in. But yeah, it was Dread Bass. Picked up that, and from there, me and my mate Chris, we'd go to Melody House every week. I mean, it was like, you know, it was like church. It's the fucking one. It was in, yeah, South Shore, Blackpool, Melody House, and yeah, they had absolutely everything. It was fucking brilliant.
Cool. Have you still got that record?
I have got it. I should have had it out, shouldn't I?
You can't find it, can you?
All I can tell you is, right, it's absolutely knackered these days. But it's made by L. Smith, isn't it? Mr. Ascend.
Yeah.
And I recently bought some floppy disks off him of some of his old Amiga tracks. And he actually gave me an original disc of the Dread Bass remix that was made on Music and Bars on the Amiga. So yeah, I mean, full circle. That guy's amazing. Shout to Ascend, absolute bad boy producer.
So what's your earliest memory of the rave scene? What was the first rave you ever went to?
The Baby Bash, Preston. Look at that. So it was DJ Sai in 1997, and they used to do these under 18 nights. Big shout to Willie Banjo. That was like the other independent record shop that was in Preston, just down the road. And yeah, Baby Lee, Free Stripe, and I just didn't know what to expect. It was amazing. Me and my mate Dunk went, yeah, summer of 97, and it was all proper happy hardcore, bit of that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, shout to DJ Sai. The Baby Bash at the Mill, Preston.
So when did you were from Blackpool, right? When did you move to London?
I've been in London in N4 for 11 years, yeah, 11 years. I was making a lot of hip hop at the time. I had a friend called Stig of the Dump, who I was making tracks and albums with. And yeah, he got me down here. I'm still in the same flat in M4 in Manor House. It's been 11 years. It's Little Istanbul, they call it. It's fucking brilliant around here. It's well good. Lots of amazing Turkish food.
What is your favourite era of music and why?
Jesus Christ. That is a difficult one. I think, you know, it's the old cliche, isn't it? It is like 90 to 95, just because it's so much experimentation going on. And like the technology is developing as the music's developing, and it makes for so much interesting stuff where it just, these days, maybe it just feels a little bit more like, you know, on the line. But I think early 90s, you've got all the Belgian techno, all the breakbeat hardcore, you know, 93 especially, with kind of like the break in the scene with the hardcore in the jungle. And then, you know, early jungle as well. And also like a lot of acid techno from that time and all the original acid. It's just so much fucking brilliant music around at that point. But then, you know, there's so many eras if you're into your, I don't know, your jazz or your funk and your soul, like, you know, 72 to 75, there's just a lot of amazing breaks and samples and stuff. And then, yeah, also like late 60s music electronica. So I've not really pinpointed one bit there, but yeah, early 90s, I reckon, still there.
So I'm going to ask you to pull out some records now. I'm hoping you've already pulled them out ready.
I'm well organised, mate.
4 or 5 records from that era.
Okay, so Tango Impact EP. This thing has got originally, you know, signed copy as well.
Wicked.
R.I.P. to the legend Tango. I had an Easy Groove tape. It was like the first one I got. I mean, I've said this before, but I got it from a mate at school, Rave in Reedy, and it was Easy Groove at Obsession 92, West Point, and it had a couple of Tango tracks on it. And for me, like I was talking about the Hit the Decks, they just stood out. There was something raw and raggo about the production. I didn't know it at the time, but I didn't know why they stood out. But I just absolutely loved his Project One, which is his alias on F Project. If you've not checked that out, I think Night Force repress them all as well. Definitely worth checking out. And yeah, there was something just really raw about his production. And I found out later that he was making a lot of his music on, it's an old Cheetah sampler, it's an SX16, and it just has a certain grit about it. But his tracks were just always had so much energy. And yeah, it was recently got to share a record with him with the On Remand remix that I did. It was the original Tango remix and my new one. So yeah, Tango, the bad man, absolute bad boy. Rest in peace. Does that answer it?
That's brilliant. That's the first one.
There we go. Oh shit, you want me to do more, right?
Yeah, do a couple.
This one always makes me laugh, right? This one is Fast Floor. You know that's Ron Wells, right? We've got to give a big shout to Ron every time. It's Sweatshop. So it's funny, isn't it? You've got like little markings on records. And you're like, this is it. They always like take you to a bit. You remember where you bought it or like where it came from and stuff. This one, me and Ron were playing in Norwich, and it was in a massive robot. It was like at a festival. It had this little button where you could like fire out of the robot's arm. It sounds mental. It was just like in the field, and there was me, Ivan, and Ron in there, and he was coming up next. And I was like, oh shit, I've got to get him to sign my record while he's here. And he always like, he's doesn't like signing things too much, I don't think, so he's got his little squiggle there. But then he gave me a heart, and then he gave it back, and he was like, I don't do that for everybody. So yeah, Ron Wells signing your record. But since then, I've done an EP with Ron that came out, and we've just finished a new one as well recently. So lots more jungle techno to come out. But shout to Ron every time, the baddest of the baddest. Oh, you want one more?
Yeah, go on,
All right.
one more.
Ooh, what we got? Yeah, do you know what? This one's. You know this track?
Yeah, Ray Keith, right?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Destroy, Ray Keith. Absolute bad boy tune. It's got the music takes you round and round. Like, first time I heard this was on a Bookham tape, ESP 92. And at the end of the set, Brian G comes on and he plays this tune. And I always loved it when I was young. It's like, it's just proper rough. Shout to Ray Keith. Amazing. One of the best, right? But I bought this recently from a shop in Brighton, and it's actually Brian G's test press. So it was the actual record that was played on the tape when I was little. It's just just a full circle moment, like, what? There you go. So that was the record that was played by Brian G on that tape from ESP in 92. So yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
I know you love both jungle and hardcore, but I'm going to say, if your life depended on it and you had to pick one or the other, what would it be?
What? Let's go with like the amalgamation of 92, 93, which is basically hardcore and jungle anyway. Does that answer the question? Is that allowed?
Yeah, that'll do.
I mean, yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, I love the breakbeats, man. Like, that's the thing. That's the most important bit, as long as we've got breakbeats.
What do you love most about vinyl and being a vinyl collector?
Do you know what it is? It's just looking through it on your own, right? You got a collection like this. I can look through it and there's just, I know it sounds cheesy or whatever, but there's just so many fucking memories. Like, I've got the hip hop section here, which is like a full period in my life. All the hardcore and jungle, it just kind of reminds me of my youth. And then it's just amazing to look through just so many memories. I was speaking to Fracture the other day. He was like, I've got loads of like late 90s drum and bass that maybe I don't need to keep, but every time I look at one, it's like I bought this from Ray Keith Black Market in the late 90s. I look at it and it brings a memory to me. Do you know what I mean? It's cheesy, but like, yeah, you could pull anything out. Like, just, there you go, look, just pull one out. This, Artifacts, Between a Rock and a Hard Place, Elder Sensei, Tame One of the best hip-hop albums ever. This, my mate Damon from Funky Fresh Few gave me a tape of this when I was like 16, 17. He was like, you need to check this out. And like, every time I pull that out, I think of him. So there you go, literally just, there you go. He's, yeah, shout out to Damon, Blackpool crew, Funky Fresh Few. I mean, the only shit thing is moving house, isn't it, every time? Yeah. Which is why I haven't moved house in like 11 years. But yeah, we've got them over here, got them over here, and yeah, my mum and dad's shed as well at the house, back up north is full as well.
Is there any records that are like still eluding you, that are like right at the top of your wants list and you need badly?
There's a few little jungle ones, isn't there? It's like there's some Photech ones that take the piss at how expensive they are, but yeah, I'd say a couple of Photech ones and a few early Dillinger ones. But most of them are getting repressed as well. Shout out to Harmony. He's been repressing all those early Dillinger ones. But I guess it's, yeah, loads of early dub plates as well. Trying to like source those. They're like super rare these days, aren't they? Have you got any of those early dub plates?
Nah. I don't really collect them because
they just get...
They're fucked, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
They're not playable.
Oh, they've got like 20 plays left in them. But I've got a few of them up here. Look at there, what we got. They should be in the 10-inch. The 10-inch. Yeah, like, obviously, early music house. You know what I mean? Listen to them. Sound good. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
But they smell wicked. So yeah, I guess I'm always looking out for dub plates and stuff like that. But I like buying the stuff that I don't know that's cheap for sampling, because it's like, it's not all for DJing, is it? For me,
no.
it's producing. So I'm always looking for different sounds, different breakbeats, and I'll have shifts in what I'm looking for. Sometimes it'll be like 70s funk and soul, disco, and then like at the moment I'm bang on like early 90s house, looking for the sounds, you know, like that they were looking for when they were making jungle. So, and all that stuff's pretty cheap. So it's always finding new little sounds and digging. That's the kind of stuff that excites me at the moment.
What's the most you've ever spent on a record?
That's a good question. Do I have to go to the Discogs to find out? Ooh. Do you know what? I don't know. Wait here. I think it will have been, yeah, it'll have been an early tango one. Like I said before, from the Easy Groove set, probably Project 1, which is...
F Project 4.
Yeah, that's it. F Project 4 tango. I think that was about 80 quid. But I find buying records in London, it takes the piss, doesn't it? Like, it's just, everything's well expensive. But if you go up north, there's still places you can dig and find bargains and stuff. Like my mate picked up a load of jungle and hardcore. In fact, it was Damon who gave me this album. Picked up a load of jungle and hardcore in the rock and roll shop in Blackpool, and they were all a quid. LSD, Chrome and Time. This is, yeah, exactly. So then he shifted them on to me. We made a little bit, but like, it's still, it's about navigating the dig, isn't it? And getting them, finding them cheap as opposed to just going on Discogs and doing it, because it's part of the fun. You know,
it's hard nowadays, though, isn't it? Because all the shops know the prices.
And the charity shops as well, man. Like, obviously, you know, but like they're all expensive, and it's just, you know, it's a bit hard to find a bargain. But as I say, I love going shopping, like record shopping, if we're on tour or out and about. Like I went out to Japan, we had an M4 night there, and I brought back a suitcase. Like they all come with the Obi strip as well. I mean, like, look at these, man. Just sounds for days for sampling. Space Fantasy. Woo! Look at that.
Wow. You just bought these just on the off chance they might have good stuff on.
Yeah, yeah. I checked a few of them, but also just, you know, those type of covers. I was just going to pick them up. And it was...
Were they expensive?
Tokyo was expensive, because, again, it's kind of like London, but we got the bullet train down to Osaka, and we found a shop there. And the geezer knew who I was. He was like, "Oh, you do the Apple advert?" I was like, "Yeah." So he gave me a little discount, but he just had a dedicated soundtrack 80s section. I just cleared it all out. But that would, yeah, Osaka was a little bit cheaper. It was dead good, dead good. But yeah, always wherever we are, always try and go record shopping.
What is the most valuable record that you own?
I don't know, like, I think I've got like an original, like Beatles White Album that's like open top, but then I think it'd be one of those Photech ones from '94. What was it under? System exclusive.
System X, yeah, yeah.
System X, yeah. I should have been more organised and got the bastard out, wherever it is. But yeah, I reckon some of the jungle stuff, there you go. I mean, it doesn't look much, does it? Someone's written on it, Dark Jungle. There you go. But that's System X, Feel It. And I think it came in like various covers. One like had a little Obi strip on it. But again, that's Photech, absolutely smashing it.
So, how many records have you got, Pete?
I don't know how many's in here. What do you
About
reckon?
100? About 100 a
100?
box, I reckon.
Was it 4,000? Yeah, but then there's like the stuff over here. I'd say
you
like
look about 5,000, I reckon.
I reckon about 5,000.
Do you not have them all listed on your collection of Discogs? You don't do that? You got time for that?
I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. No, I'd say yeah, about 5,000, right? But then there's about another few back at my mum and dad's house. And my dad's got a collection of a few thousand as well. They're just bloody everywhere.
So how are they organised? Can you find stuff when you need it, or are you here for days trying to find a record?
Yeah, sometimes. All right, mid-section here, that's all old school breakbeat hardcore. So, you know, you can just pull anything out. What have you got?
Are they in order in there, in label order?
No, it's 91 to 93, but I like it so that you can look through and go, oh, be surprised, as opposed to know where everything is. So, you know, look at Essence of Aura, Shout to Swanee, you know what I mean? It's just, have you ever seen this one? Little moving shadow square bad boy.
Yeah, I've actually got that. I've got the release version though.
Yeah.
I was actually sent that one when I was on their promo list back in the day.
Sick.
But yeah, when I stupidly sold my record collection in 2009, that was one of the ones that went. But I've actually rebought it. But I got the actual finished version.
Yeah, the finished version. Shit, like, how come you sold them? Was it just like, I've had enough, or was it like space, or what was it?
I was living up in Kent, and I was kind of stuck there. I wanted to get back to Bristol. I didn't have a lot of money, so I thought,
Shift
I'll
the
sell me
records.
records, and like they'll all come down in price, and in a few years' time I'll be able to buy them all back cheap. But
And
it kind of went the other way.
Fucking the other way, mate.
But
Jesus.
I've got a lot of them back. I'm back up to 5k now.
Well, that's what I picked this up the other day. You know this tune, incredible
Yes, I've got
tune,
that.
right?
Yeah.
But like, it's £100. So I just went to Reckless Records in Soho with a load of old hip hop and bits that I wanted to just shift on, and like basically just swapped about 60 records for that bad boy. But it is what it is. Because it can be a bit much, can't it? It just fucking takes over your life. It's like some days I just think it would be all right if I didn't have it all. But I don't know. Anyway, let's look at records because that's more fun. What have we got? Oh, wait here. This one got a picture of Ron Wells in it. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's got Dave Angel, though. Look at that. Oh, Obsession. Big up to Ron Wells every time.
So that's all your kind of old school breakbeat hardcore.
Yeah.
So what's everything else then? What you got?
We've got all the jungle here.
It's all your jungle.
All the jungle, the super duper mega jungle.
That's all old jungle, yeah? Not new stuff.
Yeah. Promo cop, like. Do you know what that is? I think that's the new N4 record. One sec.
Postman's Bean.
Postman's Bean, look at this. So, this should be the new N4, if I can open the fucking thing. There we go. Sick. Me and Time to Rush.
Nice.
Yes, Josh. Shout out to Time to Rush. Look at that. Seduction remix on the B-side as well. Tidy. Copy for you, lad.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go. Oh, stairs have had me there. Let me have another look at that. Oh, that's tidy. As I said before, I've just been cutting a few more lathes. It's a difficult time, isn't it? People haven't got a lot of money, and like the world is in a special place. Yeah, it's people haven't got money to buy records as much.
I want you to pick out 3 records that sum up 1992 for you.
Jesus, might'd have to be that F Project one. Well, like I say, I was only like 10 and had the tapes, so I wasn't going out raving at the time. By the time I was going out, it was all happy hardcore. But I think, yeah, we'll have Busy Bee, because that's absolutely killer.
Oh yeah, that's just been reissued. Did you know that?
Yeah. I know it's 93, but it's on the edge, really, isn't it? And there you go, there's the other one.
What's that one there?
That's the Tango Project one.
Oh, right, okay. F Project 4, yeah?
F Project 4. Tune, apparently. Tune. So, yeah, that was late 92, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like November-y time, and everything was getting really, really fast. But it just stood out as the reggae samples and the mixture, the rough breakbeats done on the Cheetah SX 16 sampler. And yeah, every time I heard that one on the tape, it just blew my mind as a kid. It was a very special bit of kit. Number 2, let's have a look. Again, it's 93, but anything Busy Bee did, like, I didn't know at the time as well, like, it's just a different production styles. He was making stuff on the Amiga, wasn't he? And it's all like rough 8-bit aim chopped up breaks. And yeah, I've absolutely fucking love Busy Bee's production. Me and Busy got an EP coming on N4. He had an unfinished track from 1993, sent it over, loaded it up, still worked on the Amiga, and I've just finished it off.
Wow.
So it's like from 93 to 26. That's coming out on M4 soon. But yeah, shout out to Busy Bee, the original Amiga Octamed Don. You know, he engineered so much as well. Like, he did all the Red Alert and Mike Slammer tracks, didn't he? Engineered those. So much stuff went through his studio, like Busy Bee, the absolute super Don. And then, I think, again, it's a bit cheating, isn't it? It's all 3 of them in the one thing. Like,
yeah,
ridiculous, just well thought out, just the arrangements on these, it just gets me every time. Until the night is the morning. If you've not heard that, go and check it out. I mean, goosebumps from literally just singing it there, but yeah, anything Scanner did, very, very special. So there you go.
cool.
3 bad boys.
Right, so you're not allowed to talk about N4 on this one, okay?
No, all right.
So just tell me your 2 or 3 kind of standout jungle tunes from the last kind of 2 or 3 years.
Oh, straight to it every time. This is it. It's Tim Reaper. It's Tim Reaper and Fez the Kid. Magnificent. Tim Ed is just, you know, a spearhead for the whole scene, man. The guy's incredible. Shout to Tin.
Want to get him to do one of these?
Oh, mate, he'll do it. He's got a ridiculous collection. I'm sure he'd like to chat about that. But yeah, his label, Future Retro, he's not propping up the scene, but he is like spearheading that scene. You know what I mean? He's got everybody on there: DJ Sofa, Dward, Fracture, like everyone through the scene. I've been on the label, Fez the Kid, anyone you can think of, really. He's just made that label incredible. So yeah, that track in particular is just fucking relentless. If you've not heard it.
Which one?
Magnificent. Fez the Kid and Tim Reaper. It goes magnificent, magnificent, magnificent. I play it all the time still. So yeah, I reckon.
Fez the Kid's wicked as well.
Yeah. He's using an S2000 and an Atari as well for, like, you know, the basis of his tracks. We're going to make something together soon. I'll shout you. So yeah, Tim Reaper. Who else? I just, the obvious one again maybe, but he is ridiculous. It's got to be Sully, like making genre-defining fucking tracks.
Very different his
And
stuff. Isn't it?
yeah, just off kilter, just a little bit different and forward thinking. Again, like how Tim is just like pushing it that way and bringing it all. He's just like off on another path. It's those two together are just, yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
Do you buy any other styles of music on vinyl other than jungle and hardcore?
Yeah, everything, man. I got bang into Bollywood soundtracks for a bit. Made a right mess here, haven't I? Yeah. I bought up a collection from, oh bloody hell, now there's a belter. That's not a Bollywood soundtrack, but that is a big old breakbeat, Power of Zeus. If you don't know that, get it sampled. Farmer G of Task Force, Farmer G, Chester P, lives up the road in North London. He was selling off loads of his records and he had, like, I'm not joking, off the floor, I think I bought that many Bollywood soundtracks off him. But it's stuff he'd been buying from like late 80s, early 90s for making hip hop with. And yeah, I like started sampling loads of them, making loads of hip hop beats and bits. And yeah, I made the music for the Apple iPhone 10 advert by sampling one of them, which was by R.D. Berman, called The Burning Train, which I think is down here, if I was a bit more organised. But yeah, Bollywood soundtracks. Then you've got, like, this is me listening to music, as I call it. What have we got? Oh, Caretaker, bit of Music Concrete, Tom Tom Club. What else? One of the best. Bill Withers, just Joe Tex, even a bit of Morrissey having a whinge, you know what I mean? And if you've never heard this, Johnny Guitar Watson, Ain't That a Bitch? There's a track on there that is, yeah, look at him. Tears for Fears, I mean, I'm just going through records now, but yeah, just a lot of these, like, records from my dad when I was younger, like Sgt. Pepper's, and I think, yeah, the most important album in all of it, really, to me, is this one. Me and my dad used to listen to that all the time when I was little, and yeah, whenever I listen to it, I think of him. So we've been down the old St. John's Wood and had the picture doing the thing. But yeah, there you go. I reckon that out of all of them, if I had to keep one, it would be that one.
So you collect breakbeat albums, yeah? Breaks and beats and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this whole section here is all drum breaks from like original records. So there'll be, I used to write on them as well, right there. So this was before you could kind of get everything, you know, on the internet, right? So you had to go and dig drum breaks or second generation breaks. So I used to have all like the library stuff. Even Lionel Richie's got breaks, you know what I'm saying? But in a lot of the rave stuff, look at that, get the fried egg on it. In a lot of the rave stuff, people were sampling what we call second generation breaks, right?
Yeah.
So sampling off the hip hop people that had sampled them, finding the original breaks. But like stuff like, yeah, have you ever heard the Amen on this? No. Or Salt and Pepper Amen, it's like just, people would layer them at 808s and then when you put them on 45, it just sounds like instant hardcore, doesn't it? So I've got like a collection, obviously, shout to the North London N17 crew, Millie and Dan. A lot of these records, you know, were early rave or like early hip hop. They just had break beats on them and people would just chop them up and get them in the sampler, because that was like the only way you could do it, because there wasn't really any sample CDs until like, you know, early, what were the early ones called?
Jungle Frenzy,
Jungle Frenzy, and then obviously, yeah, all the music magazine ones. Zero B, that was it. But then you've got stuff like Wax Breaks. If you've not heard that, if you're making jungle, go and check that out. Paradox music. yeah, we've got to give a shout to Paradox every time.
Dev Paradox.
Yeah.
Mixed race.
Super. Yeah. Moving Shadow 18. There you go. This one as well. I think this is Mark, 4 Hero Mark. He's got like a Crate Breakbeats thing, just loads of little breaks that he's dug, you know. And then, oh, you must remember this one, right?
Oh, Bones Breaks.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I've got most of them.
Yeah.
I think.
If you don't know about the Bones breaks, check these out. There's one on here called Janet's Revenge, which is the most raggo, crusty amen you've ever heard. I think it was the one that was used on the horn track, wasn't it? It's just clattery and just so loud and like rowdy. But yeah, collecting all these was like part of the production. Like, you had to have the drum breaks, otherwise you couldn't really get any drums going in the sampler. Breakbeat 6, you got shout to Simon Harris, R.I.P. And then, oh mate, you know this one, Dominant Force.
No.
Ooh, that's the amen that Pesce used in Gangster, and it's got the little scratch on it at the end. Fracture used it recently, used the whole scratch through it. Shout to Fracture again. But yeah, Dominant Force, another North London crew. This was like 91 rap, but they just, yeah, the aiming on it is, I don't know what they were sampling it with, like the shittest, oldest Casio sampler, but it sounds super raw. So yeah, collecting drum breaks, just, yeah, it doesn't really stop, and there's always new ones to find out. Like this, it's got I get this the other day, it's got the bonus beats. Always look for the bonus beats. This is a bonus techno mix, which is just an amen. It's super banging. Sample Kings. In fact, yeah, you can see that one. Chuck Beats.
Yeah.
That's what LTJ Bookham used for Demon's theme. Yeah. So I think it's an amen layered with the Isaac Hayes break, but you know, it just makes it sound a little bit different again. And then when you put it on 45, it's just got those little perks on the top. But that, yeah, just finding as many of those as I can. And then last one, we'll have a look. You know, you get things like this. Shout out to Ray Keith. If you've never checked out the Jungle Breaks, Ray's a bad boy. Yeah.
What was the first record you released on vinyl?
Yeah, because the first one I released was 2012, which was a rap record with Guilty Simpson from Detroit. Shout out to Louis Den, shout out to Cosign, shout out to Crow. But the first rave one I did, because I was always making like ravey stuff, but never showing it to anyone and never putting it out until I decided that I was doing a few little videos online of like how I was making them with the Amiga, with the Atari and the old samplers. Then it kind of went from there, and you know what? It was Luna C. Shout out to Luna C. Shout out to Nine Force, who contacted me and was like, "Do you actually finish any of these tracks? Do you want to maybe put some of them out?" So the first one I did is the M4 EP1 on Night Force, and yeah, it's 4 tracks. That it's quite raw when I listen back to it, but yeah, made on the Amiga and kind of all the outboard synths. So yeah, it was Lunacy, N4 Part 1, and I think we got up to Part 4, and then I started M4 Records from there.
Cool, that leads nicely into my next question.
There we go, segue.
Tell us about N4 Records, why you started it, and what have been the highs and lows of running the label so far.
Because I've been making music since I was 9 years old, like properly, because my dad was a musician. He had a studio back in the day, and you know, I've been making music that long. Like, I had a DX7 when I was a kid, used his little studio, started making beats when I was like 11, 12 with the Amiga. And I've just been making music so long, I'd always been giving my music to other labels and working for other people, and I just wanted to put what I was doing, what I was expressing in one place for something that was mine, do you know what I mean? So that's why I started M4. I started it in 2019 as a vinyl label, and it was just the jungle that I was making on the Amiga, and just, yeah, it started with that. So what was the question again?
Highs and lows.
Highs and lows. Do you know what? there hasn't really been too many lows. It's like, it's all right. It's because I have control of it, and I guess not taking too many risks and just pressing up records when I can, and it's passion projects kind of the thing that I like doing. But it is still a business, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You've still got to run it like that. But the highs is just people supporting and listening, man. It's good. So like, yeah, the label's been going, what, 7 years? We're on 33 vinyl releases at the moment, and yeah, hopefully lots more to come. Lows, I don't know. Depends how you look at things, innit? No lows.
Yeah, okay, that's good then.
No lows.
Do you play it much these days on vinyl, and what do you prefer to play, vinyl or digital?
I did a vinyl set a month ago at Wax On up in Birmingham. I really enjoyed it. It got me in the flow a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like concentrating a little bit to actually fucking mix, and doing things that you necessarily wouldn't do when you're playing on digital. But I don't have any snobbery about this is better than that. It's the music is always the thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Do you press play and do that when you start the mix, or do you do that when you start the mix? I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I'm not having a go at anyone who prefers any genre, or I'm sorry, any media format. If you like records or digital, I guess records is collected, it's a tangible bit of art, isn't it? You've got the covers, and it's amazing to look at, as we spoke about. Like, they've got so many memories. But I do like playing on vinyl. Yeah, if anyone wants me to, I'll always do that, and you'll always pull out a different set. I feel like when I'm playing digital, I'm playing a lot more upfront, kind of new stuff. People that are sending me tracks, people like Brooke, Chef the Boy, all the hardcore energy stuff. Yeah, there's so much great new stuff out there that, yeah, it's not all on vinyl. So like, I've got to play digital, and it's a lot easier than carrying 300 records to the club, I guess. But obviously I love playing records. I want to start a night where I'm playing like more sample-based stuff. Play like some of the funk and soul and some of the original samples. I think I'd love to do that. But yeah, does that answer the question, John?
That does very well.
Get in.
So you also collect autograph records?
I do.
Have you got a lot of them?
I don't collect them, they just kind of happen as they happen.
Do you take your records out when people are playing and go, will you sign my record?
Yeah, I did that with Billy Bunter. I think he drew a big dick on it. Nice one, Bunter. In fact, here you go. Speaking of signed records and dicks, what a segue. There you go. This one's a track by myself and Dirty Dyke. Signed. There you go. Signed by me. As I said before, Tango. Another one there, signed by Tango. Smith and Brown. This one, Nebula 2, you can just see about signed.
Yeah.
You got to give a shout to Nebula 2. Absolutely bad boy business. Mad P. There you go. And then the legend that is Mr. Slipmat.
Cool.
Signing the record there. There's a few hip-hop ones as well. I've got Premier, like, people you meet along the way, people that you've worked with. Yeah, always sign a little record. What else have we got in here? Do you remember that? Liquid
Yeah,
Crystal.
of course, yeah. Chromatic EP.
Yeah.
Did you remix one of them?
Yeah, man, like that was a hard remix, but I reckon I absolutely smashed it. Did it all on the ST. There's a video on the N4 YouTube of me remaking this, breaking it down. Shout out to NRG. Very, very special bit of 93 hardcore. There you go.
Okay, cool. Right, so we're getting towards the end now.
Yeah, go on then.
So this is one that I ask everyone because I want to get your take on this.
All right.
What is the relevance of vinyl in today's digital world?
I think the obvious thing, as I said before, is people are wanting something tangible, a bit of art, something to like look at and like enjoy as much as you enjoy the record. A process of actually putting it on, it gives it a little bit of like, it's not just throwaway, isn't it? It just feels more like a bit of actual art and something that you can keep hold of. in a world where everything's on the old hard drives, is you know, vinyl sales are up quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
For like, it's every year it seems to be having an increase. Many memories. But like for the new stuff as well, I feel, you know, especially with the jungle stuff, people like to play records, don't they?
Yeah.
Like actually mixing vinyl. So I think a mixture of people that are DJing and people that are fans of the art, and you know, making decent artwork as well, as you've seen with the new N4 one with myself and Time to Rush.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Is there anything else that I'd like to add? Yeah, I'm going to talk about a few of my label's records because, you know, I'm proud of it. Why not? Fuck it. Recently been cutting a lot of lathe records. This one came out the other day. It's called Wicked Men, and it's got Fly Polar on it as well. Cutting lathe records, they're sounding really good now, man. Like Daps has got it absolutely going, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's killing it. So yeah, done a lot of those. Yeah, this one, Butterfly remixes. I'll make grimy hands all over it. People won't like that. Yeah, T-Cuts. Big shout to T-Cuts every time. This one, yeah, sold out pretty quick. 4 Bad Boy Bits of Jungle on M4. If you've not heard that, go check it out. Oh, there you go, John. Have a copy.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a copy. See what I'm saying? Bug Khan and the Plastic Jam made in 2 minutes. Did a little remix. Again, that was it's a difficult one. It's legendary track. You've got to be careful when you're remixing these tracks because people get the fucking ump. Like,
Yeah.
don't mess about with it. It's like, I know. But again, shout to Lunacy, Night Force, and Jimmy Labello Blanco for letting me remix that. And you've got, you know, the original Gachet and the Ray Keefe and Nookie remixes, which are bad on there. I also run a hip-hop label with Dirty Dyke, and this is a 7 that we had out recently. It's a track with me and Lee Scott. Produced it on the Amiga, and it's even got the sample disc on the front, which is pretty snazzy. So if you want to load up the samples in the Amiga, you can do. Yeah, what else have we done? Sky Jews, that was on M4. This is an album that I produced for Dyke on the Amiga. Yeah, 15 tracks made on the 8-bit 4-channel Amiga. And then, this is all a bit self-indulgent, isn't it?
It's all good, mate.
It's all good. This is a copy of the Chalice that I'd ruined by writing on it. Yeah, again, absolute belter. Shout out to Bunter for playing that one. And I do these series of Amiga ones that are all made on the Amiga. Me looking like a knobhead on the front.
That picture reminds me of another question that I've actually thought of.
Go on then.
When I first met you, P, you had this amazing quiff. Whatever happened to that?
Everyone, he's still under there. Everyone just went on about it, so I just put a hat on. It was one of them. Also, when you're DJing, I've got the quiff and it just goes, it falls over, and better to just put the hat on. But yeah, this one, super happy with this one. This is, again, Dirty Dyke under the Dyke Star alias. This is his first Jungle EP. And what he's done is he's drawn Green Lanes. We're in Green Lanes North, N4 London. He did the whole cover on there. You can see on the back as well.
Cool.
It's got Melon Skin Studios, M4. So, you know, talking about digital, you're not going to have that. Like, it's just so
awesome,
crisp. And he's got, you know, the cat on the label as well. It's wicked. Other things, what else have we got? Oh, here's a good one. I think this is one of one FBD, my remix of On Remand. Shout to Neil Tricks, the bad boy. Yeah, let me remix that one from back in the day. And he gave me a special artist copy, so there you go.
Nice.
How good's that?
Wicked.
The baby on the decks. Yeah, they did some amazing records. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Yeah, loads of hip-hop bits. Early stuff I did with John Phonics. An album that I've done with Dr. Syntax. We've done loads of albums together. This one quite a rare one, was given away with a bit of equipment that I actually made called the Polyend Tracker. Designed it to look like an Amiga. It's got the cover on it as well. So, like we were talking about before, like Busy Beat, it has the tracker in it, so you make the beats go going down the screen.
Oh, cool.
And you play all your samples here and do all your editing there. But when you bought this version, you got
that record.
You got that record with it. So that's 4 tracks that I made on this machine. Yeah. Tears, Rollout Worker, Tracker, Hardcore. Do you know what? I'm going to have a listen to that in a minute. There you go. So yeah, proud of the label. There we go. Is that
cool?
Is that
That's
us?
cool. One last thing. Well, so I don't know if you saw Luke done a mix for my YouTube channel. It's had 12,000 views now.
Jesus.
So I was going to say, if you're
you put me on camera if I want to do a mix.
Ever in Bristol and you've got a bit of time to spare, do you want to come round and do a mix for the
man.
channel?
I mean, I can. Yeah, there's.
Can
always do one.
There's be a final mix, obviously.
Oh, obviously, yeah. We're not. So I've got to bring my records all the way.
Vinyl Junkie TV.
Of course, John. I'd love to.
Oh,
no doubt at all.
Awesome. Right, Pete, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate. It's been a pleasure
kept the glasses
talking
on
to you.
slightly hungover, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't judge me.